All right, so I decided to just tough it out in the it's not freezing outside, but it's a little chilly. I decided to get out today and be outside talking to y'all because yesterday I tried to do my live inside indoors and it just was not working out, and I don't know why it wasn't working out, but it wasn't working out. And I didn't even go back to look at those videos to see how they even turned out because I just assumed that they were crap. But if they weren't as bad as I thought, then maybe I'll go ahead and post them anyway. But so I'm trying this outside instead of indoors because my live was just jacked up yesterday. And I had a lot of people jump on too. And they were like, "You're lagging. What's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know." But anyway, I wanted to go live earlier and I completely forgot because it got so busy at work today that I completely forgot to go live, y'all. Like, it wasn't even a thought in my mind because of how crazy it was today. But what I brought in I brought in $2,600 in revenue today for the company, so that's good, right? That's good. And then the day before that, I brought in almost $2,000 in revenue. I think that was on Sunday. I don't know. I'm a numbers person when it comes to sales, even if it's not my company, so I always check for the numbers because I'm told that in business, if you can break $1,000 every day, you're doing really, really good. So to break 2,000 or to break almost 3,000, that's really, really good. So I'll be proud of myself. Anyway, it's a lot going on. I wanted to talk about that Mike Tyson fight with that dude. What was this, Jack or Jake? A lot of people are up in a roar over this Mike Tyson fight because they're saying that apparently it was Mike Tyson was paid to lose. And a lot of people feel that way because they were watching him train for it. And I even looked at a few videos of Mike Tyson training for that fight. And when I was watching Mike Tyson training for that fight, I was like, oh, he's going to kill this man. I was like, he's going to kill this man, right? So I knew going in that Mike Tyson was going to win that fight. And so when the news came out saying, oh, Mike Tyson lost, I said, bullshit. Somebody lying. The devil is a liar. But they said that Mike Tyson lost by decision, not just saying that he flat out lost. Somebody just said, oh, well, yeah, you just lost. So that's why a lot of people feel cheated out of the fight and they feel that Mike Tyson was paid to lose. But why would Mike Tyson be paid to lose? Why would they not want Mike Tyson to reign supreme again? Mike Tyson always reigns supreme. So why would somebody not want him? Is it because, I think I get it. Is it because Mike Tyson is in his 60s? By the way, he looks great for somebody that's in his 60s. I saw him damn near naked. Saw his ass cheeks and everything, okay, except for the frontal, okay? But I saw everything. He was basically naked except for the frontal area. For somebody who's 60, what is he, 63? He look good for somebody that's 63 years old. Okay. I never looked at a 63-year-old man like that before. But when I saw him in his little his thong thing, I was like, what? That's Mike Tyson? Anyway. So yeah, I think they wanted Mike Tyson to pass the torch. I think that's what it is. I think they wanted Mike Tyson to pass the torch because they probably figured that this is the last fight that Mike Tyson will ever have again, right? Hi. So they probably figured this is the last fight that Mike Tyson will ever have. So yeah, but he's in such good shape. I don't see why he wouldn't do it again. You know what I mean? But he's 60-something years old, so I think he should pretty much hang up his belt. They paid Mike Tyson to lose that fight. I don't care what nobody say. Because what I watched him training, and the way he was training, I'm like, he's going to kill that boy. I mean, I know he a man, but I was like, he's going to kill that boy. And Mike Tyson lost by decision. They're lying. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. They're lying. And if they paid Mike Tyson to lose, I wonder how much they paid him. Because this is the thing, right? If you a winner, you a champ, and you always been a winner and a champ, always, why wouldn't you want to reign supreme as the winner and the champ? Like, just for legacy purposes, right? Just for legacy purposes. You know, you on your grave is going to say you died the champ. Like, nobody beat you. Nobody beat you. You died the champ. Like, you had to die for somebody to come and take your spot. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that they offered him a hell of a lot of money, and whatever the price tag was, I think Mike Tyson said, well, that's enough for me to go ahead and not have on my tombstone that I died a champ. And maybe it was 100 million, maybe it was 200 million. It was something. It was something big. It was something. It was something major. Mike Tyson, I want you to tell us. He probably signed an NDA that said he can't talk about it, because if he talk about it, then that's going to renege the money. So he probably just going to take it to his grave child, but he going to be spending. He going to be spending. Watch. See, 20 million to not reign supreme. It was. I know it was scripted. That's some shit right there. And everybody want a rematch. People are calling for it. They're like, bullshit. The devil is a liar. We want a rematch. So if they do a rematch, then they're gonna have to pay him again to lose. And he lost by decision. So they're gonna call it again and say he lost the second time. Bullshit. And if what you said, Mike Jones, is true, they paid him $20 million. That's bullshit. You gonna pay me, Iron Mike Tyson, the champ, only $20 million to lose as the heavyweight champion of the world? He must have been in debt. He must have had some bills to pay off, okay? Because there's no way you just gonna pay me, Mike Tyson. I don't think is he married? If Mike Tyson was married, his wife, if I was Mike Tyson's wife, I'd have been like, bullshit, you better ask for more money than that. Do you know who you are? I'd have been like, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Okay, because if you know who you are, you ain't accepting no $20 million. I thought they would have paid him at least like $100 million. I ain't lying, 50 million to 100 million. And I say 100 million. It's Mike Tyson. He gonna lose his whole, I mean, he's not losing his legacy, but he's losing his spot as the champ. So now you're gonna go to your grave as a loser? It don't sound right. It's not right, y'all. The fix was in, and the other guy got. Mike Jones, these better be cold hard facts you spitting, because I'm gonna have to research this after I get off. They offered Mike Tyson 20 million, the other guy and the guy that won by decision got 40 million. That don't even sound right. It don't sound right. Okay, so did Mike Tyson get 20 million publicly? Like, did they publicly say, okay, Mike Tyson lost by decision, but we're going to give him $20 million? If they publicly said they're going to give him $20 million, then that means they probably slid him something under the table. You know what I'm saying? A little something under the table that he's not going to talk about. And it better be good. I'm trying to tell you, they slid him some hush money. They slid him some money under the table. It had better had between 50 million. It better have been between 50 million to $100 million, Mike Tyson. Do you hear me? Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson. Okay? If they publicly paid you $20 million, okay, they better have slid you between $50 to $100 million under the table to lose that fight. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if you had to sign a non-disclosure agreement saying that you can't talk about it, they better have slid you between $50 to $100 million. That's all I'm saying. They got the money for him to just lose his title like that. Bullshit. Bullshit. But anyway. And I didn't even see the fight, y'all, and I'm all riled up like this. I was preparing to watch the fight. I thought I was all on time, and the next thing I know, the headlines hit, oh, the fight is over. I said, wait, I was preparing for it. What happened? Because I got so excited because I started seeing those videos of Mike Tyson training, and I was like, oh, he's going to kill this boy. I want to see this. So I was preparing to see it. Next thing I know, it was over. I don't know what the hell day I was on. I don't know what day I was on, y'all. But anyway, did anybody on here see the Mike Tyson fight? And if you did, how do you feel about it? Do you feel it was rigged? Because everybody is saying it's rigged and they want a rematch. Everybody. It was scripted. That's a damn shame. All I'm saying is if they paid him to lose, they better had slid him between $50 to $100 million under the table. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And even then it wouldn't be fair, but you know what I'm saying. Just for make him feel good about losing his title and everything. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, how has y'all day been today? I had a very, very busy day today. Very, very busy day. And it was only a 4-hour day. That's what's so crazy. I'm like, I only worked 4 hours today and this shit was crazy. Like crazy. And I brought in good revenue, but Anywho, if anybody has been following my story on this All Baddies Got a Story channel, then y'all would have seen how in the last video, how an angel came through, swooped through, and helped the sister out. The angel's still helping the sister out. It's been serious out here, y'all. Serious in these streets, okay? But that's life. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Right, I think I see it. Anyway, let me not be too nosy. So what's going on, y'all? Are any of y'all subscribed to this channel? Have y'all been watching me for a while now? You could tell he was holding back because he knew he was going to break his damn neck. That's Mike Tyson, okay? Look, if you saw his training videos, then you know. That's why I was getting too excited to see it. I was like, oh, he's going to. Come on, man. So he did all that amping everybody up, getting excited to watch the fight, and then just going to blow it. I'm telling you, they slid him something under the table. They slid him some hush money. They slid him about $50 million to $100 million. I'm trying to tell you. And if they didn't, it should have been about that much. So I'll be having people, have y'all ever been, they kept adding rules to the fight after what Mike wasn't allowed to do. Why? That's what I mean. They kept adding rules. So they kept adding rules to the fight saying what Mike wasn't allowed to do. So that was the setup. That was the agenda. If they paid, what the fuck? Now I wonder, I want to interview Mike Tyson. Because I got questions. I want to know if he wasn't in on it. I want to know if he wasn't in on it. But you said it looked like it was scripted. He had to have been in on it. So that was like a whole setup. It had to be an under the table deal. Come on, man. First of all, he's the champ, right? And you're going to pay the champ $20 million and pay the newcomer $40 million? And of course they're going to say, oh, well, he got the extra 20 because he won. But he won by decision. Number one. Number two, that's Mike Tyson. No, they gave him something under the table. And it was way more than what they paid that Jake dude. I'm trying to tell you. If he was going to lose, he better have lost for between $50 to $100 million. And I say $100 million. I don't know if he married, but if I was his wife, I would say $100 million. And if they tell you, if $50 million, if they tell you to sign an NDA, $100 million. Come on now. Come on. He's valuable. Mike Tyson is still valuable to this day. Very valuable. You can't let him go out like that. It's not right. But anyhow, it's chilly out here, y'all. You saw the fight. At least you saw the fight. So did you feel cheated? Did you feel like, why am I watching this? And did you have to pay to watch it? You know how they do like pay-per-view or whatever? Did you have to pay to watch it? Because if you had to pay to watch it, are you trying to get a refund? They're going to be like, you shitting me. I'm giving you no refund. And men don't give you no refund. Because I'm sure a lot of people tuned in. Mike Tyson hasn't fought in a very long time. So I'm sure a lot of people were, I was like, you know. But when I saw him training and I saw him going off the way he was, that's what made me want to watch the fight. And I was preparing for it, but I guess it went over my head. I gotta turn the light on out here or something. They posted the script. It was on Netflix. I stayed up until midnight. It was on Netflix. So you had to be like a Netflix subscriber to watch it. You stayed up until midnight. You said you was disappointed. Yeah. That's because if you pay to watch a fight and you know what the fighter is capable of, or you know what the champ. I'm sorry. You know what the champ is capable of. Yeah, you're gonna feel cheated if he didn't perform the way you know he can. See, that's where they messed up. They shouldn't have posted those training videos showing him really bringing it. You know what I mean? And then, because why would you show that? Getting people all amped up, or maybe that's where the money came from. They were getting people amped up to watch the fight, but then deliver mediocre. I don't know. I gotta watch it. And you said he was holding back. I think he would have broke that boy doggone neck. It's bullshit. The devil is a liar. They paid him hush money. But anyway. I wonder if Mike Tyson gonna give interviews. Or if they made him sign an NDA to not give interviews. This is bullshit. Because I want to interview him myself. I got questions. But anyway. What is today? Today is Tuesday. It's 4:48 where I am. I don't know where everybody else is. That's why it's still kind of light outside. Because where I am, it's still pretty early. But it is going to get dark soon. But yesterday I was trying to do my live inside and it was just lagging so bad. So I was like, well, I'm just going to have to rough it out in the cold for a little bit and try to get in. He hasn't given it. If Mike Tyson does not give an interview, it's because it was a part of the NDA. And they told him not to do it. Because can you imagine him being interviewed and them asking him questions about the fight? And then he's just like, I can't answer that. I don't know, or I don't remember, or then you know right then and there that it's bullshit. So I think all of us should call for a rematch. For real. I think everybody should call for a rematch and make them fight again. Because at the end of the day, Mike Tyson ain't got nothing to lose. All he got is to win more money. Whether he decide to lose under the table again or not. Rematch. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to give an interview, though. I guess we'll see. You never know. So this is November. What's going on? Basketball, football, and what else? Oh my God, that is a huge spider. That sucker was big. That was a big spider. Anyway. So how's everybody doing this evening besides being disappointed over the Mike Tyson fight? How's everybody doing today? If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. All Baddies Got a Story. I go live every day, but my live was jacked up yesterday, and I tried it twice, okay? It was jacked up. You know what, Mike Jones? You giving me all the deets. The other guy gave an interview after the fight, but Mike Tyson didn't. I'm telling you, it's something with that. It is something with that. You know what? Right now on this live, I'm calling for Mike Tyson to give an interview. I got questions. And people want to know. And people want a rematch. So in an interview, Mike Tyson, we want to know if you would consider a rematch, Mike Tyson. We want to know if you got paid any hush money under the table. And if so, was it between $50 and $100 million? Well, I guess you don't really got to tell us that, but yes, you should tell us. It was between $50 million and $100 million. And if you don't answer those questions, is it because you signed a non-disclosure agreement to not answer those questions? And if you signed a non-disclosure agreement, why did you sign a non-disclosure agreement? Because clearly the other fighter is giving interviews, so clearly he didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. This is bullshit. It's bullshit, y'all. Thank you for all of that information, Mike Jones. I appreciate it. You were very informative, because I know I had some questions. But anyway. Anywho. Tomorrow should be quite interesting. I promised to go live earlier tomorrow, because today I just completely forgot. It was so busy, which probably would have been real eventful for y'all to watch all the craziness going on. Where are y'all at? Oh, you're in Georgia. Mike Jones is in Georgia. How's it down there? Is it freezing down there? Did you get any of the after effects of the hurricanes and stuff that whipped through the South? Because I know they're still cleaning up in like parts of North Carolina. I know they're cleaning up in parts of Tennessee, and hurricanes wreaked havoc, child. What's up, y'all? Yeah. It was actually pretty warm today out here. I'm in Southern Cal. It was actually pretty warm today. I was surprised, but I was moving around a lot, like a lot. So that's probably what heated me up, but it seemed like it was pretty warm today. You didn't get hurricane damage? Well, that's good, because I sure saw that it ripped through. Hopefully hurricane season is over. If it was hurricane season, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other stuff in the headlines that caught my attention. I don't think it's nothing much. You know, I noticed that things start winding down. Like after the election, which people are still talking about the election, but like once it starts getting closer to the holidays and stuff, you know, news cycle, like things kind of slow down. It's almost like people are preparing to just be off. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you. Thank you. I have some other featured channels on this page, too. I don't know if you're into, like, artistry or music, but I'm a music producer, and I compose a lot of my own music, and I write songs, and I sing my songs, and I have a lot of videos and stuff on my artistry page at that girl, Shanda. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you should check it out. I also have a podcast. The link is in this the profile. But I also have a couple of episodes on this page under the All Baddies Got a Story podcast folder. So if you vibe with that, you should definitely click on the link and subscribe to the pod. I have almost 300 episodes on the podcast. You know, feeling my way out, doing what I can, still creating content. It's been rough. When people, I almost said life is rough, but I don't like to say that life is rough, because life don't do nothing to us. You know what I mean? It's usually like the players in life that make things hard for you, that do things to you. So I never like to say life is rough or life is hard. And just the things that people do to you makes things hard. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. People are people. But I'm sorry to hear that about you losing 2 houses and a business. I watched this whole business just get swept away downstream, literally. Like businesses that have been there for like decades, like people, like whole towns underwater. Do you hear me? Whole towns underwater. But I literally watched houses and whole commercial properties just get swim down, like they say, gently flow, row your boat gently down the stream. That sucker was just rowing down the damn stream. It's crazy how you never would think that your life would probably change in an instant, right? Like you go from going to your store, going to your business, working, being at home, comfortable in your bed, and the next day everything is washed away and you're just sitting there like just standing there with nothing, right? Just standing there. Like, I've been through a lot of that, y'all. I've been through a lot of losses. I've been through a lot of people taking shit from me, stealing shit from me. I've been through a lot of that too. Like, down to my kids, like, you know what I mean? I've been through a lot. And a lot of people ask me, why am I the way I am if like all of that kind of stuff happened to me? And people, you know, I don't know. Some people might think, what do they call it? Not, I don't want to say delusional, but you know how sometimes, I don't know. I guess people assume that you're supposed to like just be downtrodden and just like when you get beat up a lot, I think people assume that you're just supposed to be on the ground and not able to get back up. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a lot of people gunning for your throat and they try to do anything and everything in their power to purposely make life hard for you. You know what I mean? Even if they gotta like mess with other people around you in your vicinity in order to directly take a hit at you. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I'm used to that, and it happens often. It happens a lot. But I noticed for me personally, it happens because I erect boundaries. And I notice it happens because I speak my mind. And I protect myself. I defend myself. I speak up for myself. I use my voice, right? And a lot of times when people are trying to exert control over you and they're trying to make you look a certain way to people, right? Like if somebody painted a whole picture of you to somebody, right? And you just come out of nowhere basically knocking down all of their lies, then it makes them look bad, right? And so, you know, then the person want to try to get at you, or, you know, but it's crazy stuff, right? It's like not even something that you did. It's just you defending yourself, right? And so I realized like a long time ago, I never used to do that. I never used to use my voice. And I don't know, I think it was a learned behavior because I noticed that like with my grandma, Willie Mae, like there were certain women in our family that would like belittle her, talk down to her or whatever. And my grandma is so sweet, right? Well, I'm a lot like my grandma, right? So, but I noticed that there were women in the family that would like tell her to shut the F up, or like if she was talking about something and she was trying to make a point and it was just like, oh, shut the fuck up, Willie Mae. You know, like, oh, what the fuck you talking about? What shut the fuck up, Willie Mae? Or, you know, or shit, like it was almost like they tried to make her appear stupid or dumb or seem like she didn't know what she was talking about, you know. And my grandma is a real bright light. She's like intuitive. She's a bright light, sweetheart. A lot of people love her. A lot of people adore her. She's always had like this stellar reputation in the community. I can go on and on and on about my grandma, you know, business owner, homeowner, hard worker, just and all around. She's a cardinal sign too. She's an Aries. I can go on and on about my grandma. I love my grandma so much. And so I think because she is this like bright light that people always tried to beat her up for it. You know what I mean? It was like, they just tried to rip her apart. And I would even talk to some of the women in my family, and I'm like, well, you know, such and such used to be really mean to grandma. And they're like, oh, no, they weren't mean. And I'm like, no, they really were. Like, I was a little kid growing up hearing that, and I felt it was mean then. And then, you know, and when I became of age, like when I got like 19, 20 years old, and I noticed those same women were talking to my grandma the exact same way when I was a kid, that's when I interjected. And I'm like, stop talking to my grandma like that, because I'm grown now. When I was young, it was, you mind your business. Don't get out of grown folks' business. Stay out of grown folks' business. You a child. Go stay in your place. Get in your place as a child, right? But when I turned 19, 20 years old, and they were still talking to my grandma that way, because they would talk to my grandma like that, and she would shut down. She would not use her voice. They would just curse her out, and she would just do this. It was almost like she was scared, or it was almost like she was like this little girl. Like she like morphed into this little girl or something, like she was used to being treated like that. And so she just like morphed into this little girl and was quiet. You know what I mean? Because I would literally watch it happen. But when I became an age baby and I noticed they were talking to my grandma the same way, I'm like, stop talking to my grandma like that. What? You heard what I said? Oh, you need to mind your, no, I'm not going to mind my business. I'm grown now. I can say what I want to say, and you are not going to talk to my grandmother that way. I'm gonna need you to, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, you know what I mean? I would stand up for my grandma. So I think me being a people pleaser and not using my voice as much was a learned behavior, you know? And so I noticed that over time, all it did was hurt me. Like all it did was hurt me, and all it did was give other people power over me to control me, or to, you know, paint a picture of me that wasn't true, to lie on me, to do all kind of horrible things to me, right? And so I stopped doing that shit, and I started speaking up for myself, and I started exerting control over myself, and putting up boundaries, and making people aware of what's going on and what's happening, and why this is this way or why that is that way. And, you know, and when you do that, people don't like that. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a coworker, boss, whoever, they don't like that. Because if they're trying to exert control over you and they're trying to so-called put you in your place, whatever place they feel like you're supposed to be in, why they feel you're supposed to be in that place, I have no idea. It's like, are you God? You know what I mean? Like I have no idea what, you know? So yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that. But that's not, at the end of the day, that's not your problem. You know, it's like if somebody is talking horrible to you, are you just going to let them do it? If somebody is treating you a certain way, are you just going to let them do it? If somebody is lying on you and then you hear about it, are you going to let them do it? You know, a lot of times people will go all around the mulberry bush, you know, talking and gossiping, and, you know, oh, this was done and this was said and this was said. But then it's like, all, you know, the gossip is taken all around a whole circle, and, you know, and all it does is just turn into something else, because once it gets to B, it then turned into something else when it got to C, and then would turn to something else when it got to D, and then turn. Who got time for that? If I got a problem with somebody, I'm going to take it straight to the horse's mouth. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, Shanda, well, why didn't you just come? For what? That specific problem, it was not a problem with you. If I got a problem, I'm going to take it straight to you. I'm going to tell you what it is, what's bothering me, and what's hurting me, and what's not fair, and what's not right. A lot of times people don't use their voice. And I noticed that about my grandma. She just kind of shut down. And I think it was just a little something inside of her from childhood. She would just shut down, but I spoke up for her. I spoke up. When I got of age, oh yes, I began using my voice. Talk to my grandma like that, and she not doing nothing but talking. She's not doing nothing but talking. And I think because my grandma always allowed them to treat her that way, it gave them permission to do it. It's like she kind of enabled them, you know what I mean? Because she never told them, don't talk to me like that. Or, you know, and even if she probably tried to, they probably still like bullied her and ganged up on her. So I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm not the type to sit around and argue with a person. If you're telling me that I'm wrong about something and I know I'm not wrong about something, I'm going to keep saying that proving my point about how I'm not wrong. You know what I mean? But even after a while, I'm just not gonna, no. And I hate arguing, you know? I hate like somebody just like arguing and yelling and screaming in your face and all of that. It's like you can't even, at this point, you're not even having a conversation, because you can't have a conversation because you are screaming in a person's ear. Like, how do you expect to solve anything with this situation if you keep screaming and hollering at the top of your lungs? You're not even hearing yourself at this point. You're just hollering. What is that going to solve? What is that going to solve? It is true. It's true. And I know people are passionate and emotional, and that's where all of that screaming and hollering comes from, because like maybe you're hurt and you just, and I get that, but it's still not going to solve anything. It's not. All you're going to do is run the other person away. Now, sometimes, two people will go at it back and forth with each other, arguing and screaming and fighting for 10 and 20 and 30 minutes. Who got time for all of that? I don't have time for that. Oh no. Screaming and yeah. Like, not to get too personal, but that's how the ex was. Like, when the ex was pissed, you know what I mean? Especially like after the whole breakup thing happened, because the ex didn't want to break up, right? But, I was over the toxic and the negative shit. And especially after when my kids started getting hurt, that's when I bowed out. I said, oh no, you hurting my kids? Oh, you hurt my kids? Oh no, I bowed out, right? So, but like, after the whole breakup thing happened, and, the ex and I trying to, have a conversation or whatever, it was just like, it was just like screaming and hollering and like on the phone and stuff. And I'm just like, to the point where you got to pull the phone away from your ear, and you're just like, are you serious right now? Like, how can you have a conversation when you're screaming at the top of your lungs? So most of the time I would either hang up the phone or I would walk away. Like, there's no way you can have a conversation with someone like that. In my opinion, you can't even continue to grow in a relationship with somebody like that. There's no way. There's no way. It's no. There's no way. If you can't calmly talk to me about what your issue is, and if you don't agree with whatever my stance is, that does not give you the right to just scream at the top of your lungs in my ear, or try to manipulate me into doing something different, or try to get a bunch of other people to gang up on me in order to get me to change my mind because you feel like it should be your way. I'm sorry. Like, that's, all of that is wrong. All of that is toxic. All of that is negative. All of that is wrong. And anybody who endures something like that, you need to walk away. I'm sorry. Walk away. Walk away. Because in my case, kids are used as pawns, and, oh, you gotta leave your kids. And it's like, but this is the thing. When you're walking away from a relationship, y'all, you're not walking away from your kids. You love your kids. In most instances, parents are not walking away from their kids. They want to be there for their kids. They want to love their kids. They want to nurture them. You know what I'm saying? But the other person will have the kids thinking, the other parent doesn't love you, or the other parent this and that, or this and this and that. And it's just like, and then they will put the children in specific situations to make it seem one way when it's really another way. It's like you are really doing all of that manipulation and controlling and lying and cheating and stealing. Like, you are going through all of that just because you want your way. Just because you want your way. So now everybody got to get dragged into the scenario. Everybody got to get hurt, even the kids. Everybody got to go through all of this horrible shit because you want your way. At the end of the day, you sound like a spoiled brat. You sound like a child throwing a horrible adult temper tantrum. That's what it sounds like. Like, literally, that's what it sounds like. And it's a shame. And it should not be that way. It should not be that way. Two adults should be able to sit down and communicate their woes to each other. And if the one doesn't agree with the other one, you should be able to agree to be disagreeable and move the fuck on. Period. If one person doesn't want to be with one person, but the other person wants to stay in a relationship, agree to disagree and move on. It's just as simple as that. Well, you need to be here. Well, I don't want to be. I don't want to be. And I have my reasons, and I already told you my reasons. And if you can't respect those reasons, that's not my problem. It sounds like you want to be the controller, the dictator. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people can't take, or a lot of times, people can't take rejection. And if you walk away from someone, especially if that person feels like, what? You walked away from me? Me? You walked away from me? Like, how can you just walk away from me? Or, I don't know. Some people are very haughty and they think a lot of themselves. You know what I mean? Which is fine, to think a lot about yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But never be too much on your high horse to think that a person won't get tired of your ass. Don't ever be too much on your high horse to think that a person won't walk away from you. Like, I would never be that much on my high horse to think that somebody wouldn't walk away from me or wouldn't want to be in a relationship with me again, or not even again, just in a relationship with me, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never. This last relationship that I was in with the ex was like the whole breakup thing has been the worst ever that I've experienced. But you know what? There's this thing. Didn't they say it's like a 3 relationship rule? My lipstick coming off. Isn't it like a 3 relationship rule, y'all? Where they say the first relationship is like young love. The second relationship is supposed to like, is it 3 relationships or 4? I think the first relationship is like puppy love, young love. The second relationship is supposed to like teach you something. The third relationship is the one where you get really fucked up in, like really fucked up. And if anybody who's been in a really horrible relationship where, the bad outweighed the good, then you know what I'm talking about. And then the next relationship is the one where everything just flows, like ebb and flow, like water, because you would have learned all of the difficult lessons that you needed to learn from the previous relationship that would prepare you for the one that you're really supposed to be in. And so it's like, now that I know what I want, and now that I know what I don't want, right? Or now that I'm not confusing lust with love, because sometimes that can happen too, right? You can think that you're in love with somebody, but you can really just be in lust with them, right? Like you just could like their sex, or, they could make you feel good in sexual ways or whatever, some women are really good with seduction, right? So, but you're thinking, oh my God, I must be in love, right? But it's really lust, right? And so you live and you learn, right? You always learn. When you're in a bad relationship, you learn the red flags. You learn a lot about how people are. And those lessons that you learn in those relationships, they apply in all relationships. It's not just spousal relationships. It's also like coworker, boss relationships, friend relationships. Like, you learn a lot. A lot. I know I did. I learned a lot. You know what I mean? And to the point where I took some of those lessons, and I even looked at some people in my family. And it was like, damn, like this pattern of this person fits you. You know what I mean? Like, interesting. It's quite interesting. You know what I mean? So you live and you learn. It's all about growth at the end of the day, evolution, getting it right so that you don't have to repeat the same jacked up, twisted cycles, and move on to calmer waters, right? Where you're finally at peace with who feels like home to you, who has your heart and your soul, and you know what I mean? Who feels like home to you. I think whoever you're with, they should feel like home to you. That's what I think. And honestly, that's why I haven't gotten into a real relationship since like I broke up with the ex and everything. And it's because like, number one, I don't want to repeat the same thing from the last time. And number two, I just want to be real careful about who I get with. You know what I mean? My situation is kind of different. I'm kind of an anomaly in a sense where, you know, the person that I intend to be with, I want to be careful because I don't want to give myself to the wrong person. Do you know what I mean? And I mean that in every sense of the word, like physically, mentally, emotionally, definitely physically. I don't want to give myself to the wrong person. If you don't deserve to have me, I don't want you to have me. And that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. So, and I have strong boundaries with that. I have very strong boundaries with that. Like, it is what it is. But, you know, so that's why it's taken me so long to get into it. But I also needed to reflect on some things too. I needed to reflect to figure out what went wrong, why everything happened the way it happened, what part that I played in it making it go the way it went. You know, because I saw a lot of red flags years ago, but, you know, sometimes you ignore the red flags, right? Because you think that maybe it's not that bad. Sometimes you ignore the red flags because you think that maybe it'll get better. Sometimes you think that you can love somebody to better, you know, like, oh, all I got to do is love them and everything will be fine. You know what I mean? But that's not necessarily the truth. Some people really have like deep rooted issues that they don't want to face, and they rather just sweep the shit under the rug instead of like facing what the real problem is, so that, you know, it can be better for everybody. And they'll even pretend too, like, oh yeah, I'll work on this, or oh yeah, I'll get better, or we can go to therapy, you know, and like pretend through therapy, straight up, yo, pretend through therapy like they're really going to get better and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And the whole time they're lying. It's almost like they're playing in your face. Yeah, let's go to therapy. Oh my God, it's going to work for us. I bet it's going to work for us. And the whole time they're in therapy, in their mind, they're just like, this is such bullshit. I ain't changing. I'm going to be exactly the same fucking way. But as long as it appeases them for the moment. Like, that's real shit. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. You know, I can speak from experience. And I can speak from other people's stories too. But I speak from experience. So, you know, like, and it's sad. It's sad because a person will hold on to you just to waste your time. They'll hold on to you just so that somebody else won't love you the right way. You know what I mean? Especially if they feel like they may never find like real love. Because first of all, you got to love yourself anyway, boo. Like, you have to have self-love. You have to love yourself. You have to treat yourself a certain way. You have to value yourself. You have to love yourself. And I'm not talking about like going out and buying a gazillion clothes and a gazillion shoes and, you know, superficial things. And, oh, I love myself because I buy myself all this shit. No, I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm talking about real self-love of self, of who you are outside of all of the superficial shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Because some people think that when you say, oh, you should love yourself. Oh, I love myself. I go and make sure I buy outfits and make sure I look good. And I make sure I go and make sure that I'm presentable. And I make sure. And it's like, okay, that's the outside. Because a lot of times people think that as long as they look good on the outside, it don't matter how fucked up it is on the inside. But the shit on the inside is the shit that will hurt you. Do you hear me? The shit on the inside is what will hurt you. Like, really bad. That's the stuff that is hidden because it's on the inside until it comes out one day. And you like, where the hell all this come from? Damn, I thought I knew this person. Damn, what the what? What the what? You know? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. It's that stuff on the inside, baby. So, yep, sometimes people will hold on to you just so that you won't ever get the real love that they know that you deserve, because they can't give it to you. They can't give it to you. They feel like they'll never have it, so they don't want you to have it. So it's like a selfish thing. It's a control thing. It's a selfish thing. It's a manipulation thing. It's really bad. it's really sad. Like really, really sad. But whatever. You live and you learn. We live and we learn. Don't you hate wasting your time in relationships? You see your time and energy, and then you learn they aren't the one for you. Yeah. Yeah. Especially like when kids are involved and stuff, because then you're like, oh, like I don't want to take my kids through this. Do you know what I mean? Because they're innocent, they're vulnerable, sweetie pies, you know, and they don't deserve to go through the stuff that these adults put them through. They just don't deserve it. You know what I mean? But staying in a toxic relationship with someone that you have kids with, all it does is normalize the toxicity to the kids. In my mind, I'm like, if I stay, like my mom was trying to talk me into staying in the toxic relationship, like, and I was just like, why would I stay? And then she just kind of looked around like, oh, well, you know, you just built a house and you just this and you just that, and you got, you know, all of this is going on and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but if I'm not happy, like, I don't want to have that kind of energy around my kids. If I'm not happy, like, I don't want to pretend with my spouse that I'm happy if I'm not happy. Like, and I don't want it to get to a point where now we're just cheating on each other because we're not happy with each other. Because I understand that some people have like open relationships or whatever. And a lot of times I think people have open relationships because they're not happy with each other. Because I don't care what you say, it's not that much getting DICK, I can't even spell. Is that not that much getting DICK and PUSSY in the world? In the world, because all you're doing is giving your energy out to all of those different bodies, right? And they just taking your energy, draining you, all your energy. And then you're just left feeling like a shell of a person. Like you feel drained, you feel used, abused, and you still feeling lack. Right? Because what are you gaining besides sexual pleasure for like 5 or 10 minutes? Outside of that, what are you gaining? What are you gaining? That's why people always say, when you decide to get into a committed relationship with somebody, that you have to make sure that you guys have something else to go off of besides just sex. Because a lot of times sex can get old, right? And if the sex gets old, then what are you going to do? And I'm not saying like old, like, you know, your sex life won't ever be hot again, but just kind of like, you know, life happens, things happen, you know, you guys are going through the motions, ebb and flowing of life or whatever, and there's just a lot of other things that are pressing, that are weighing on you, that happen outside of just sex, right? And so what else do you have to lean on besides just sex? Because if you only with somebody for sex, that shit is going to get old real fast, and you're going to be bored to death. Bored to death. Especially if they ain't coming with no new tricks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if all you got to offer is sex, you better be coming with some new tricks, baby. You're going to have to come with some new tricks. You're going to have to, you know, spruce it up or something, if that's all you got to offer. Because a person will be with you just for sex. They will. You're just going to have to, you know, become acrobatic or something. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I always say it's best to be in love, and it's best to be with someone who feels like home, and it's best to be with someone who can spark your interest, your intellect. You know, because brain stimulation is very, very important. And if you find yourself being bored in a relationship, there's no brain stimulation, it's just sex-based, you will step out. You'll step out. Or you will say, yeah, let's have an open marriage or open relationship because, you know, because you're lacking. You're lacking, and you're looking for what you're lacking. Sometimes people don't even realize that they're lacking. They just think, oh, you know, we have an open relationship. Oh, this is cool. This is great. But why do you have an open relationship? What are you lacking, or what do you feel like you're lacking? You gotta really think about that shit. That's why reflection is so important. You gotta really think about that. But anyway, so in a nutshell, that's why I haven't been in a relationship with anybody. I've dated, but I haven't been in a relationship in a while, and it's because I just don't want to settle, and I just want to make sure I get it right. I just want to make sure I get it right. I just want to make sure I get it right for myself, for my kids, for future kids. I just want to make sure I get it right. So, but anywho, and at the end of the day, Mike, you know, we may hate wasting our time on relationships that don't work, but those relationships end up being really, really good lessons. Like really, really good lessons. We learn a lot from it. And we're supposed to. Like I said, that's how we learn what we want, and that's how we learn what we don't want, by being in fucked up relationships. That's how we learn. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want you. Yeah, no, I don't want this. Yeah, I don't. No. Mm-mm. 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 Okay, now I see it. I get the picture now. I get it. I understand. It's making more sense to me. Anyway, it's dark. It got dark fast, y'all. I guess I'm gonna get off. And I had to work in the morning. And I'm deaf. Is that a spider, bitch? You know, it be some. I've been seeing some big spiders lately, but you know what? Nothing tops the spiders in Australia. Have y'all seen spiders in Australia online? They're like 8 and 9 feet long. First of all, how do you even live in Australia with stuff like that? I would never. And it's something called spider season in Australia, when they really come out and create all these wet. Oh, you can miss me with that. I don't care to go to Australia to visit. I don't care, and I would never live there. Just based off of the creatures that they have out there. Oh, you miss me with that. I don't even know how I got on that one, but oh yeah, because I saw this thing that looked like a big ass spider. Anyway, all right, y'all. I think I'm gonna get off. I'm glad I did my live. Sorry about the live that was lagging yesterday. That wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Thank y'all for joining the chat. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for subscribing, Mike Jones. I appreciate you. Again, everybody, if you're not subscribed to All Baddies Got a Story, subscribe to the channel. I go live every day, sometimes twice a day. Check out my other featured channels on this page, especially my artistry page, where I am all my spoken word is original. Everything on that page that's written, I wrote it. Everything on that page that's written, I wrote it. From the spoken word to the songs I sing, it's all me, okay? And all of the music that you hear, I composed, because I'm also a musician, and I love music. It does something very special to me. One day I'm gonna be in collaboration with somebody, and they're just gonna sit back and look at me like, what the fuck? I'm like, I know. This is why I keep it under wraps. This is why I keep it under wraps. I'm like a wild child. It's just, oh, child. I'm like a wild child when it comes to music. Anyway, but it's a good thing, because that's like, you know, your artistry really, like, I'm free. I'm very, very free with my art, especially when I'm doing it by myself. Like, I'm very, very free. It's going to be, I think, a test for me to like collaborate with people. Like I collaborated, like when I was in a music production school, I collaborated with other students because we had to. Like the teacher made us get in groups and stuff and like do stuff together. And that was fine, you know. It was kind of light, you know. It was light. And I was still feeling my way through it, you know. It was all new or whatever. And I think and then I collaborated like on one song with one guy. And you know, it was, but everything else I've done everything else on my own. And I think the major test for me is going to be collaborating with other people. Not that I'm going to have a hard time doing it. I think it'll be even more fun, you know, with people, because then you get to see like their artistry. Like you get to see how their mind works. You get to see what makes them tick. You get to see how the music comes through them. You get to see their work style in regards to if they play the piano, or if they use like the beat pad thing. You know, it's like a pad where like you push pads to make beats. And I do that too, and I've done that. I do that a lot with like drums and stuff. But I also really like to play the piano, and it's like a specific software I like to use because I like to make sure that I use actual instruments as opposed to like synthetic sounds. A lot of people always say use what's that damn software? Not Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops is old. Not Fruity Loops, and not Pro Tools, because I have that too. Not Pro Tools. What is that other one? It's like a DJ. Oh fuck, I can't remember it. Ableton. Is it Ableton? I think it's called Ableton, and it's like pre-sampled sounds. So basically, you just kind of go and pull sounds, which is that's dope too, though, because you get to pull sounds and like you get to put the sounds together. So what sounds good to you, you get to put it together and make like a whole new sound. And so I think that's dope. It's just already pre-sampled, pre-created. Am I saying this right? It's already, I almost said procreated. It's just samples. It's just music that's already been done, basically. And they put it in little samples for you to chop up and put together like that. And the reason why I like Logic Pro X is because there are no they do have some samples if you want to use them, but Logic Pro X has like the actual instruments. So as you're hearing whatever the melody is in your head, you can, and if you're hearing whatever instrument that's going with it, you can pull that particular instrument and just play out exactly what you're hearing in your head. It's almost reminiscent to playing individual instruments. So like, which I'm so glad that I don't have to do that. That's why I love Logic Pro X, because I'm like, oh my God, all the instruments is in this one software, and all I got to do is play the piano to play all these instruments, as opposed to grabbing a saxophone and playing a saxophone, and grabbing a guitar and playing the guitar, and grabbing a trumpet and playing the trumpet, you know, grabbing a trombone, or grabbing a tuba, or grabbing a harp, or grabbing do you know what I'm saying? So, which I still think is pretty dope. I think it's real dope to be able to even do something like that, right? Because you know, I strum the guitar, but I really love using that software to create all my music and stuff. It gets me very excited. I get chills. Anyway, yeah, so my biggest test is going to be collaborating with other people and seeing how that goes. But I look forward to it. I really do. But anyway, I'm going to get off. Where they going? They're like, they up to no good. I know them. Anyway, I'm going to get off and I'm going to go, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for coming on to my live and chat, and thank Mike Jones for filling me in with all of that wonderful information about the fight that I just had no idea about, because you sure gave me an earful, and I'm going to have to do some research, because I got some questions for Mr. Mike Tyson, and I'm going to need him to answer them. I am. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.